Hello everyone, this is Manjula Devi P. In this session, we'll discuss about investment properties. As per Ind As 40, what is investment property? So you all would have heard about investment individually and property individually, isn't it? Then what is investment property? Investment property could be any real estate property that has been purchased with the intention of earning a return on the investment either through rent or the future resale of the property or both. So here if a company is investing on any real estate, it could be a land or it may be constructing a building or purchasing a building or any real estate property where the purpose of the purchase or the purpose of the construction or acquisition of the real estate is not for the usage but for earning a revenue out of it through rent or through the profit earned because of the resale of the property. So it's like, suppose if you are constructing a house, okay, if you are constructing a house to live in, that means it's land and building, it comes under building in your asset. But if you are constructing the building and not for the own usage, but you are using it, you are renting it out and you want to earn a rent out of it, then it is called as the investment property. Or you are constructing the building just to sell it, resell it and make profit out of it, then also it is considered as the investment property. So how to treat this investment property is being discussed in Ind As 40. So investment property shall be recognized as an asset only when it's probable that future economic benefits will flow to the entity. That means it is built or constructed or acquired for the purpose of getting an economic benefit, and there are economic benefits which are going to flow into the company, and the cost that you have incurred to acquire the asset or to build the asset, to construct the asset, the cost which you have incurred can be measured reliably. And an investment property shall be measured initially at its cost, including the transaction charges. So then you recognize it in the books of accounts. So what is the meaning of initial cost? So as the Ind As 40 says, investment properties has to be recognized at its initial cost. So here I want you to remember about PPE, that is property, plant and equipment, which is under Ind As 16. So there is a format given as per Ind As 16 to calculate the initial cost or original cost of the asset. The same logic is used here to identify the cost of the investment property also. So here we include the purchase price and any other directly attributable expenses. What are the directly attributable expenses relating to the purchase? So it may be any professional fees, legal charges, transportation charges, property transfer taxes, or any other incidental expenditures incurred at the time of acquisition or at the time of constructing the investment property. For example, if you are constructing a building in order to rent it out or in order to resell it and make the profit out of it. Now at the time of construction, you would have incurred so many expenditure. First and foremost, you have to buy the site and you have to make the preparation of the site in order to construct. Then you use a lot of material, you use a lot of labor, and there are so many registration expenses and there are so many service charges that you pay. So all those costs in connection to the construction of the building should be identified as the initial cost, and that total initial cost that you have incurred until the time of completion has to be added to the investment property, and that investment property should be shown as a non-current asset in the balance sheet. Not under PPE, not as PPE, but after PPE you have to show it separately as investment property. But if you have constructed the same building for your own purpose, say for using it for office, for the office use or for factory or factory building, then you don't show it as investment property, but you show it as PPE, property, plant and equipment. So you have fair value or the cost model. Now when you are showing it in the books of accounts, as real estate is subject to generally appreciation. Now which model do you choose? Do you show it at the fair value or you show it at the cost model? So you can make a choice as the company. Fair value you all know, that means the value with which you can sell it in the immediate future. Or the cost model is the cost that you have incurred, like how you have calculated by applying Ind As 16 formula. Then what happens when you are disposing? So you have incurred and you have recognized it as cost and you are showing it either in cost or fair value. Then what happens when you dispose the investment property? So it should be de-recognized. Obviously, it won't appear in your books of accounts after it gets disposed. Then if you are making any gains or if there is any loss arising out of the disposal, should be taken. How do you calculate? You compare it with the carrying amount with the actual value of the disposal. Then if your value of disposal is greater than the carrying amount, then it results in gain on disposal. Or if you are disposing at the lesser than the carrying amount, then it results in the losses. So any such profit or loss should be recognized as an item in the statement of profit and loss. So here we come to the end of the session. If we recap, so what do we have for investment property? Investment property could be any real estate property which is purchased or acquired or constructed, built for the purpose of earning a return out of it through rent or through disposals. Then it is recognized as a non-current asset in the balance sheet but shown as a separate item as investment property, should not be included in the property, plant and equipment, that is PPE. And it can show the investment property at its fair value or the cost value. Then at the time of disposal, if there is any gain or loss, that should be recognized in the profit and loss account. Actually, on investment property, as per Bangalore University syllabus, there is no numericals given, there is no calculation question given to calculate the initial cost or the fair value or the depreciation. Only theory part is being asked. So here I have explained what is investment property as per Ind As 40, how do we recognize it, what comes under investment property and what happens when we are disposing the investment property. So for further references, I have just added some of the MCQs. You can refer the textbook. So these are some of the textbooks which you can refer for making the concept more clear. Thank you very much. Have a good day.